noticed that as of today, I updated my backdrop, which now reflects my most recent version of my setup. I now have a computer with dual monitors, although one of my monitors is also shared for my Xbox. So the result is I can now monitor live what's going on Twitch as far as my stream. Not audio quality, mind you, but video quality and chat I can monitor in real time at long last. So it should help improve the quality of my streams a bit. Now, brain fart. The majority of the Halo updates are, well, they're news only. So, there's not a whole lot in-game to mention at the moment. Although there are a few things. So I'll cover those as much as I can. And this is the ultimate challenge. Not even worth mentioning, really. I'll start with the offers here. As you can see, they ended up removing the... I forgot what it was called, but the bundle right here in its entirety, which is a shame considering if I had the money, I would have gotten the wings as soon as I can. But it was overpriced for just a pair of wings, and once again, you still cannot buy individual items. But they finally have the Transgressor kit available. And yes, it's a generic Grenader, not George. Not that you can tell difference. Although, either way, I'm not particularly sure how I feel about that. Some part of me wished it was George, if there was a way to save him, or cure the infection. As you can see, I've took advantage of the multi-core and put the Mark 7 helmet with my favorite attachment, although I wish it was affected by coatings, on all my armor. Even the armor cores I will never touch. Although I didn't put it on the Mark 5B because my goal is to just mimic the Mark 5B that I've had in when I last played the 360 version of Reach in both Infinite and the Master Chief Collection. However, of course, the armor bundles are still overpriced. Now, this is something I would be interested in, this bundle right here. As you can see, I favored the weapon model for the bandit, as well as every version of the Hidden Cabal coding. Why? Because, well, it's my color scheme. Although I do feel it is a bit overpriced. Unfortunately, I won't get paid till next week, and likely won't have enough to be able to even get this. Although I do have 10,500 Microsoft Reward credits that I've been saving up to contribute to upgrading my computer so that it has a graphics card that's this century, considering it's I ended up putting the graphics card for my previous desktop, which was running a 3rd generation processor, into it, so it's only the R5 200 series graphics card by AMD Radeon. Yeah. So, luckily the processor is a Radeon, whatever it's pronounced, 5 2400G with built-in graphics. But I will have to replace that sooner or later because it doesn't support Windows 10. And I'm still running only 16 gigabytes of RAM on it, which was slower than the DDR3 RAM I had in my previous computer, and I also was running 64. So it's a downgrade on RAM. But it is something at the very least. Oh, okay. I see how it is. To get the cat face, you gotta use the attachment. I think this was part of last week's update as well. Well, this is back. Now, as far as the news, they've confirmed that they are working on more multi-core armor coatings, although they use the word coatings and not armor coatings, which suggests all across the board. They also confirmed that the next multi-core update will focus on shoulders. Now, this armor core is pretty much ready for that, although I don't much care for the back plate of this, but I love the rest of the base core. But I would much prefer it had this back. But I cannot wait till I can use these shoulder pads on every one of my armor cores. Not that I'm going to use it on exactly every armor core because, well, I'm not touching this one. This one's perfect the way it is. And this one I already told you about. But the rest, yeah, pretty much going to be on all the others. Now, although not confirmed, recent leaks have basically pointed out that it is highly likely that the Mark V kit and coating it comes with are going to be bundled. I said that wrong. Mark V kit will be bundled with coating. That's been confirmed. But what been essentially all but confirmed at this point, based off their pricing trends, the bundle itself, which just comes with a visor, a kit, and a coating, is going to be $20-$25 minimum. So, not only is it restrictive in customization, but it is going to be restrictive and overpriced. And I get the inflation has something to do with that. So does the whole downsizing their company and whatnot. But they literally went back on their word after they decreased the prices to more reasonable for what the bundles are actually worth, considering the bundles were bad pairs up to begin with. And just went down. Now, so, like I pointed out earlier, I can now live monitor chat. So, I would love to hear people's thoughts at this point in time on what I discussed so far and brought it to the table as far as the news I've heard. And yes, I subscribe on Elon Musk's obsessive X titles of what I refuse to call his under his name, so I'll continue calling it Twitter, to several news feeds, including the most accurate leaker out there, our leaker group, as well as the official update channels for Halo and Destiny. I also subscribe to the maintenance channel for NGS, even if I haven't played it since right before Starfield came out, actually. So, in the chat, let me know what you guys think about the current price trend, the kit situation, and coding situation / multi-core situation, and their confirmed plans for the next step. I also want to point out on that topic that they have no current plans outside of additional multi-core support and shoulders. There was no mention of plans for updating the existing attachments for more helmets to support coatings or anything of the sort, not even the Reach style multi-attachments. In fact, somebody commented on that within seconds of the news tweet being put out from a member of 343 and a Spartan Chatter tweet that was responded to. The above is all our plans for multi-core at this time. But they didn't say at this time. They just left that insinuated. But it can also be simulated that they'll add more multi-cores, core shaders, or coatings, if you will. And, ooh, thanks for the follow, Containamins? I guess that is how you pronounce that. I'm horrible with pronunciations, so forgive me if I mispronounce that. They basically said that they're going to make multi-cores, more multi-core coatings, make shoulders multi-core, and essentially be done with it unless they feel like it. So if you wanted, like, for example, if you're like me and like the up armored visor attachment on the Mark 7 / Keystone helmet, but do not like the fact that it's always this whitish gray, then you're SOL. The same can be said for like chest attachments. Like you see here, you'll be stuck with that one color. However, they had pointed out the fun fact that, for example, the PlayStation Gaming coating that's part of the kit from Season 1 will in fact be made available at a later date, as will all Season 1 and 2 coatings, or kits, coating kits, whatever, be available for general use. Hence the reason why they show up outside the kits at the moment. They're still working on them. But, as you can plainly see, that'll clash with the attachments. They also confirmed, however, that they will be multi-core. So, there's that. But they did also go in as far as to say that for those, quote unquote, for those who purchased them while they were sale, end quote. So, yeah. If you didn't purchase them, it sounds like you're also SOL. And considering they don't even show up in the official store section, nor in the kids section anymore, it doesn't seem likely like you'll ever be able to acquire them again if you haven't already. I see I got another follower. Thanks for the follower, Icy Agaloom. I have no idea how to pronounce that one either. I apologize. However, they did point out that essentially, like, where is it? They changed their colors, so I'm trying to figure out. I have no idea where. I'll just pick one at random for now. They have confirmed that going forward in past Season 3, all official team merchandise or of League merchandise will be multi-core going forward. And can't lie, this complexity is pretty sick looking. That's the one I clicked on. Optics, Quadrant, Navi, Phase, Cloud. Oh, they abbreviated their names and drastically changed their color scheme, which seems like they're honestly spending more time trying to reinvent their team appearance than they are actually trying to improve their gameplay. And I don't even really pay much attention to the official esports of Halo at the moment, outside of Twitch drops, to be honest. But even I know that they're like not doing well. So, yeah. They did address the issues with custom game browser here. They've reported that the main issue is the game doesn't have essentially this session is full type system. So if you join and a bunch of other people join and it fills up, the extra slots that you and the other people that could not get into the game are essentially there, result in this current infinite loading screen issue. They did suggest, without actually saying it, if you read between the lines, that essentially it's not an infinite loading screen when joining custom games. It is more like a waiting for a slot loading screen. So you'll be loading until there's a free slot. However, it's my understanding, and again they were kind of vague on this, that new players will be prioritized when joining the session. So, at all times. So if you're already in a loading screen because you've been waiting to join a session that filled up as you joined, you'll remain in loading screen until there's not only a free slot, but there's no other players that see that session, see the free slot, and try to join. Which for particular popular custom games could be days. And yes, they addressed that they're looking into addressing this particular issue, so they didn't put much detail on that. They did point out that with the drop of Season 5, the amount of diagnostic tools and data streams they have access to has essentially tripled. So they'll be able to fine-tune and fix things much better. They've also pointed out that they've been incrementally going in and fixing individual parts of the network and game stability in little segments, but it's taken a long time, and it's making marginal progress every time they do, so much so that its subtle effects are missed by the larger player base, and players believe that there's no progress. Again, this is more of my interpretation of their words, not quoting. So they're gonna focus on, and apparently started either this season or last season, to focus on deep diving, heads down, all in one improvements and patches for stability. So instead of little drop pods of stability and network improvements like they've been doing, they're just gonna build and build on what would have been drop podded into they're satisfied with the results, and then wham, with a season, sudden stability updates. Well, not so much a season, but seasonal update, whether it be a new season dropping or a mid-season update like we're going to have with Firefight. They confirmed that Firefight's dropping with a mid-season update, and they confirmed that they're going to be doing quite a bit of patching and improvements like that. But how much they're actually doing during that remains a mystery. So we shall see. Now, they didn't really go into any much other detail. However, as you can see for the season pass, season reckoning, it says there's only 12 days left in the live season. Now, that may be a bit misleading. From the way things look, that's not the end of Season 5 Reckoning, but the end of its first quarter or first half. So we likely will see a update. How it's going to drop and play out is anybody's guess at this point, outside of 343. But in 12 days, from the way things look, we can expect Firefight to drop. And we can expect some sort of changes, improvements, maybe even a different Season 5.5 Reckoning, the Second Coming, Battle Pass, Premium Pass, whatever you want to call it, Season Pass dropping. As well as whatever events they're going to do. But that's just my interpretation of the current, between the lines, what they've actually said in the current state of the game. So, with that, and with nobody chiming in with their own thoughts on what I'm covering, I believe that the Halo update for this week has been completed. Now, with the dual screen setup that I just started using with this particular stream, I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel archive as soon as the stream is done, so there will be a slightly longer delay before I get to the Destiny 2 parts of things, of the update for this week, even if it's a day late. And I won't actually start the broadcast until I'm past the initial loading screen, like I did with the Halo section. And again, I am always open to feedback on ways to improve my coverage, my streams, and just general feedback on how I can better accommodate people's needs and wants, within reason, of course. As I've said, pointed out in my bio, I am a budget gamer who looks for primary games where I can create my ideal self and insert into these worlds, these universes, these virtual realities, these multiverses. Whatever you want to phrase them as. And so that's my gaming style. And I'm trying to find ways to include others into that narrative, while also covering live updates in at least 2 games that follow this trend. Anyways, I've said my piece, and until next time with the next Halo segment, or if you're interested in Destiny news, stay tuned.